Welcome to Veggies and Herbs. My name is Ruben Malale. Since the quality of the vegetables is dependent on the quality of the soil, it's important that every gardener should do everything possible to improve and maintain the quality of their garden soil. So in this video, we will be looking at 5 organic soil improvers that can enable you to have a productive garden. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, there's basically 2 philosophies regarding fertilization. The one philosophy is feed the plant directly. Now, a gardener that subscribes to this approach will feed his plants a soluble fertilizer, and since the nutrients are made available directly to the plant, there's not a lot of soil processes going on with this approach. This means that each gardener will have to feed every crop with a soluble fertilizer to secure a harvest. The other philosophy is of the view that you need to feed the soil, and then the plants will obtain the nutrients directly from the soil. This approach means that the gardener is in a position to provide and add the necessary ingredients to their soil to turn an infertile soil into a healthy, fertile soil. Now, I subscribe to the latter approach. I believe it's important to feed the soil. I believe this approach is more organic, it's more sustainable, and it is just beneficial for both the plants and for the soil, as this approach will create a symbiotic relationship between the soil and the plant. Since the soil in many residential and urban yards do not always have the necessary minerals and the nutrients that plants or vegetables require, the gardener must therefore take the necessary steps to provide their gardens or their soils with the necessary organic matter. Now, organic matter can be described as decomposed or dead remains of plants and animals, and this organic matter can then become food for the soil living creatures, and that can create a conducive environment and provide the plants with the necessary nutrients to grow in a healthy and a proper way. So let's look at the 5 organic matters that I use in my garden to improve my soil. So compost, in my view, is one of the best organic soil improvers, purely because compost can actually improve all types of soil. So compost can actually improve the soil structure of clay type soil by making it less compact. It will allow the nutrients that are in the clay to be released and just allow the overall drainage and the quality of the soil and the growing conditions to be much better. Compost can also improve the soil structure of sandy type of soil by increasing or improving the moisture and retention of the sandy soil. So for me, compost is one of the main inputs in my garden to ensure that I improve fertility and the nutrients within my soil. Now, it is not always possible to be self-sufficient by creating your own compost, especially for gardeners that are living in urban and residential areas. So I find myself also in a situation where I do not have sufficient space, and I also do not have the necessary ingredients to make a good quality compost. In order to feed my soil, I procure my compost from nursery, and it assists me to build my soil quality and improve the structure of my soil, to improve the quality of my vegetables. Now, leaves can also be a great way, or can also play a great role in improving your soil structure. Many homeowners dispose the leaves from their yards to the landfill site, but leaves can actually improve the quality and the structure of your soil. And there's basically 2 ways that you can actually use leaf as an organic matter in your garden. The first part is to apply it as a mulch directly within your garden. Another approach is actually to make leaf mould. Now, leaf mould is a type of compost that is purely made up only of leaves. So there are a couple of ways that you actually can go about making your own leaf mould. One approach is to just find a designated area in your yard and then pile all your leaves in that specific section. As time progresses, the leaf will decompose and then become a great organic matter to use as a mulch or work it into your garden soil. Now, since I am in a small space, I am making use of a plastic bag just to make my own mulch. So the step that I'm doing is to fill my plastic bag, fill it up with water, and then I will tie it up just lightly. After that, and I will make some holes at the bottom just to ensure that there's some ventilation within the bag. I will then put this bag in a shaded area and allow it to decompose over time. Now, since this is a much cold approach of decomposing the leaves, it will take much longer, so it can take up to 12 months for these leaves actually to decompose. Now, animal manure has always been a source of fertility in the organic garden. And if you have access to free animal manure, that can actually be a great source of fertility into your garden. So since I do not have access to fresh animal manure, I do get my animal manure, crop manure from the nursery, and I found that it also adds great value to the fertility of my soil. So just to mention that if you do manage to get free manure from perhaps a farmer, that it is important that you decompose the manure first before you apply it to your garden, as you can actually transfer pathogens as well as weed into your garden. Now, there are also other fertilizers that can amend and improve the quality of your soil. Many of the organic fertilizers are actually made from plant and animal remains. So animal-based organic fertilizers will include your bone meal or fish meal. Bone meal can actually be a great source to improve the root system of your plants. So sometimes when I do transplant of my seedlings, I will incorporate bone meal into my garden just to allow my plants to develop some good root system. We also find plant-based organic fertilizers like alfalfa meal, and this type of fertilizers can actually boost your leafy plants, as they require quite a number of nitrogen to grow healthily. Unlike the chemical fertilizers that provide a quick fix to the plant, the organic fertilizers break down and release the nutrients slowly. So these are some of the organic fertilizers that I use in my garden. Now, Boskashi compost is a clean and easy method of converting your kitchen scraps into a nutrient-rich compost. What is required for this process? You need a bin, and then you just need to place your kitchen food waste in the bin and mix it in with the bran. Now, the bran has been inoculated with microorganisms that will decompose your food scraps. So this Boskashi process actually makes use of the fermentation process, where this kitchen scrap will then be fermented. So after your Boskashi has fermented, you can then take the Boskashi and transfer it directly into your garden and bury it directly into your garden, or you can make your own compost. But Boskashi is a very easy and free method of actually converting your kitchen scraps into lovely compost. And the good thing is that it doesn't produce any odors. And I'm looking forward to share how I am going with my Boskashi process in future videos. But these are in essence the 5 ways that I am improving and maintaining the quality of my garden soil. A shout out to all the subscribers that have requested this video. I hope this will add value to your garden. And if you would like me to cover any other items, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Keep on sowing and growing.